Hello, everyone. How are you tonight? Well, I just wanted to kind of touch bases with everybody and kind of give you an overview of what the plans are for the future and what we're going to do next regarding the high-speed drone, the 170 millimeter turbine engine, some other cool projects I got going on, you know, just for fun. I'm probably going to give this away to a subscriber once it's finished. It's a magnetic one. You know, where you can just... There you go. That one's mine for scaring trespassers. Okay, so... Plan of attack here. Today we had some pretty bad wind. Power got knocked out for a little while. I'm hoping I've got a dry day in the next couple of days where I get down to the field, put this thing in, angle mode, get it in the air, see how it acts, see what the altitude is, what the climb rate is, and then we're going to see, I'm going to take it out of angle mode and pray, because I've been practicing with acro using the TX16S from Radio Master on an app called Liftoff, which is on Steam. And that's kind of given me an idea of how much different stabilized flight is from acro. It's a big difference. So, this one will fly pretty stable in acro, actually. When I did the original introduction video, it was in acro, and I didn't realize it because I hadn't flipped the switch. So that's why I was kind of going back and forth in the video in slow-mo. But, yeah, I mean, it was funny. That was an epic intro to this thing, if I do say so myself. And I hope you all enjoyed it. Tonight I was feeling kind of down, just waiting on parts and, frankly, money to get the parts. So I decided to have some bitter coffee and be a bitter person. Bitter coffee for bitter people. Bitter people. Bitter coffee, bitter people. Merch. Coffee. Link is in the bio on my page. It is Breakfast in Bread. Breakfast, the letter N, bread, .store. So go down there. You can use DPC10, get 10% off of your coffee and your merch. That helps me. It helps the guy making the coffee, and he's really good at making the coffee. I mean, look at that right there. Caramel Baker Street coffee. I mean, just you can't even go wrong with that one right there. Anyway, so that's what we're doing. Waiting for a motor. 7070 Flip Sky 60 horsepower motor. We're going to put 48, so cut it nearly in half. 20 horsepower. Or no, 30 horsepower, sorry. 30 horsepower motor, or 30 horsepower out of the 60 horsepower motor because of the voltage. I may have the math completely wrong on that as far as how that translates, going down in voltage. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out how many horsepower per volt we're getting, and then we'll figure out what voltage I'm going to be getting out of that motor, or what horsepower, because I am not going to... The reason why I got that motor was because it was capable of 75 volts. I'm only going to use 48. And the reason for that is because I know I'm still going to get the torque out of the motor, because I'm pushing it through 150 amp ESC to 48 volts. And I want to make sure that I don't overheat the motor. So I want the overhead. And then people think, well, the motor won't run efficiently. I don't need it to run, top notch. What I need is to get this to the RPM band that I'm waiting for, and to have the torque overhead to cover it. So, I mean, that's why I'm doing it. The front drive version, that can go with another 6374. And then we'll change this gear ratio out, or not the gear box itself out, because we obviously can't get it printed in metal, because some people don't know how to use their equipment. And that's all there is to that. I had another company approach me, and they're like, you tell us, they mention us, and you can get $40. I'm like, are you kidding me? 40 wouldn't buy half of one of the motors that I need to push that. I don't know, if I'm going to freaking, pimp myself out for a company that's overseas that wants to get some, business, they're going to have to pay a lot more than that. A lot more than that. Call it a tariff. Courtesy of the United States. But yeah, you want me to endorse your company for manufacturing, then give me something to work with. Not $40. I just threw that offer back. I was like, nope, sorry. They try to build it up, make it look good. But in the end, it was what it was. I was trying to get things cheap and sell cheap items. So about the only thing that's coming out that way. Bamboo Lab. They're doing some really good stuff. I would love to get their H2D to see how much more I could get accomplished in this. Now, practically, with what I'm doing with the H2D from Bamboo Lab, be any good to me in all this? What else could it accomplish for me? I do need to cut out spars and stuff like that for wings when I'm doing skinning, like when I'm using the printer to print out, the wing spars. I could either do it out of PLA or PETG, or I could have it laser cut it out of balsa, or, I can vinyl cut stickers. Ooh, it's got a laser cutter and all that other great stuff on. But realistically, yeah. So it replaces a couple of machines. But what could it do for me here? Bamboo Lab, I ask you, what could your H2D do for me in this shop with what you see here? With this 170 millimeter high pass 22 blade fan, with this gearbox that I want to print out of Peak, and if you can't give me 350C in the chamber, then there's no need to even buy it, right? What else can you do for me? Do I love the Bamboo X1 carbon? Of course I do. Look what it's given me. It's printing all this stuff out beautifully. Especially if you're using Bamboo Lab formula, PLA, PETG, stuff that they've designed specifically. Then the stuff comes out great. I love the carbon fiber look. It just comes out with just no layer lines. But it's a 3D printer. It's an additive manufacturing 3D printer. So I'm only going to get 3D printed parts. So you tell me, Bamboo Lab, what can the H2D do for me in this shop with what I'm doing here? High-speed drones, carbon fiber frames, stuff like that. So I get the raw materials, and then am I going to be able to improve what I've done here with that machine? I guess there's only one way for you to find out, and that's for me to put it through its paces if you decide to send me one. If you're game. But honestly, with all of its capabilities, what more does it bring to the table for me? And that's the big question. Because I was going to buy it, and I was looking at the prices, and I was looking at all the stuff that it could do. I'm not seeing a lot of extra things that it could do for me. Stickers, who cares about cutting out vinyl stickers? I'm not going to use those. For what? Reflectors on my turbines? Am I going to make myself a pair of shoes? No, I'll just buy some. Yeah, I'm happy you guys made the AMS version of TPU. That stuff was cool. Am I happy that you made ASA Aero? No. Me and everybody else who ever bought it. So let's see. I'll challenge you. You give me the H2D with all the fixins. I'll review the whole thing from top to bottom. I will put it through its paces. I will use it for every part of my project. I will figure out a way and engineer a way to put every little piece that machine can produce into one of my aircraft, or my engines, or my drones, or my masks, or anything like that. Or my jet, for example. If you can do what you say you can with that thing, then let me prove it. Because if anyone's going to prove it, it's going to be me. Because I have a special gift called ADHD. And people tell me all the time it'll never work. And well, it all works. The Shrike concept drone worked. Everything else has worked. The Dill drone worked. Out of spare parts just laying around. Fusioned it out, printed it out. It printed it great with the Creality stuff. I don't like how shiny it is, but it's PETG. What are you going to do? So I need to know if it's going to be something that's going to make this better for me. Is it going to give me that drive to go, okay, I can do this now. Now let's build this. Let's improve this. Let's fix that. Let's make this easier to build, that easier to assemble, so on and so forth. So I await your answer, Bamboo Lab. I will say I do love the X1 Carbon. But we've got a perfect spot over here, for an H2D. We could give that ender to somebody out there who wants to start out and start making stuff. That'd be fun, right? The Ender 3 giveaway, people are like, I'll give mine away. It's an Ender 3. Don't get me wrong. I got the Shrike version 1 off of that one. It took forever, but I got it. That was the first EDF drone. And then the rest was printed off of Bamboo Lab X1 Carbon, which made it beautiful. So, yeah. So the lineup on the projects, you can see what's going on. There's a lot of stuff in Fusion that I've already STL'd out. That's for other projects. We're talking SR72 Darkstar. We're talking Shrike XL for those motors. We're talking, this one's printed. I'm just waiting for some parts. Gotta get that ESC that I want in there. I gotta get some servo wire extensions. That's a 90 millimeter. We're gonna give that one a shot. But 'tis a waiting game. And we will eventually get to the point where I've got the right motor for this. I've got the right gears for this. I've got, hopefully a pocket NC sitting over on the desk or something like that so I can CNC out all of my gears here. That's really what I want to do. Yes, because CNCing this planetary gear setup would have been way more precise than this laser centering with its offset of 45 feet. So, yeah, there you go. That's the plan of attack. Out to the field within the next couple of days, weather permitting. Hopefully tomorrow it's clear. High speed until something breaks. I've got the big batteries in there. 2 more over here if it happens to last through the first one. Maybe I'll save acro mode for the last flight. But yeah, that's the plan. That's up next. That's right after it. that I'll finish and probably give away to a lucky subscriber who gives a damn if you do one way or another. And then we'll go from there. So we'll end up going, once I get the motor, get it tested, and this is viable, then when we know it's viable, it's just finding the powertrain in the right planetary gear setup to make it work efficiently and quietly. Once that's done, Shrike XL was born. We start building that. You get the carbon fiber tubes, I get everything I need. And that might actually be a project that the H2D could help me with. But, you know, Bamboo Lab, you gotta kick down a little bit. I spend a lot of money at your company, so I'm here promoting you. This is all yours, the quality off your printer right here. So, hey, that's worth me testing out the H2D, right? Let's see what it can do. Let's see how much farther it can bring me in this. How much closer it's going to get me to the finish line of the Shrike XL. The 220-pound heavy lift drone. But to all my other friends and subscribers out there, and to anyone who might join by watching this video or they're interested in the content, subscribe, click the bell, share it with your friends, because we are going to have some fun in the next couple of months. This drone, this motor, I'm telling you, it's coming down to the wire. So don't miss it.